We are in the shop today. We have freezing rain and it is solid sheet of ice. And I had to wear spikes, some corks, just to get over here. So we're in the shop today and here's how cold it is. I had to run a heater because I was getting an air code on my pellet stove. And I gotta warm up these sensors back here. And sure enough, here we go, it's working. I was getting worried. So today, we're gonna organize some parts, get some stuff cleaned up for the next section. Got our CPP rear shackle kit. Last video, we had to use the old ones on the new Calvert racing springs. So we got some cool upgraded CPP. Also going to put new bolts and the stuff we need for the front of where the Caltrack mat on the front leaf spring section. We had to use the old bolts. Some old stuff here, kind of like when you wake up in the morning and you're like, woo, Wheelwood. That's Wheelwood right there. One of the best brake companies there is. So we'll get going on some projects here. Guys, we just ordered a really cool CPP built transmission cross member and an all new driveline loop system. So this is coming out. But next step here is frame extensions, or tie the frame in the front. So we're going to clean this all up, wire brush, wire wheel that back here. So the back of the will go in there. This is a bolt-in style. They make weld-in ones. So this will go there. We'll bolt through this hole. Got the holes right here. I'll go there. We'll go here. Up into there. I will bolt and I will weld. I will do both. This then will go up into here. And hopefully we don't got too much pounding. Gonna have to, I don't know if we cut the floor and then refinish in the inside, or if we can push it up enough to bend it up the floor enough. These fit really tight, so that's what it's going to look like. And we will tie the frame in on this 67 Nova. Alright, got it cleaned up. Alright, so what we're doing is jacking and putting some pressure on this floor to see if we can't get it to go up a little over 1/4 of an inch, not quite a 1/2 inch, but it's right where that drain plug. So you got that flange, which could be easily, or that flare could easily be ground down. But the frame extensions or tie-in just don't want to, it hits that floor right there. It can't line up with the bolts on the spring shackles. So put a little pressure here, see if we can't get that bent. If not, we're gonna have to cut the floor and weld in, cover it with sheet metal and fabricate it all in, which is fine. That's what I think a lot of people do, but it'd be kind of nice to be able to get it to fit by just kind of, it almost wants to lift the car instead of bending this floor, but we'll see if we can get it to squeeze in. So it worked, the floor. Jacking that up, bent it just enough. But here's our other problem right here, as you can see, just not enough. We could open this hole a little bit. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna plasma cut just a little bit off here, drop that down, and then that's gonna fit up there. And then we'll grind this off too, because there's probably 1/8 of an inch of just undercoat. So we'll see, we'll do the undercoat, grind off first, and just see how close we can get this bolt to line up. I didn't look here. Let me look. We got our bolt hole drilled. Lines up nice. We'll plug weld this and we'll weld up here, but we'll bolt through there. And then on the back here, we've got our notched and bolted in. Looks good. There you go. That's how you tie a frame in. And along with this 9-inch and these springs and the Caltrax, this is going to make this Nova a whole new machine. Okay, we are ready to bolt and ready to weld. But I'm going to wait. This is just a mock, just to hold it. Again, we'll plug weld this. We'll run a weld up there, both sides. I'm going to wait till I get my transmission cross member, just because it's kind of a trick one, and I don't know if it's how it's gonna play into this section. But the floor, I'm happy we didn't have to cut the floor, and we've got this all cleaned up and ready. We'll drill, plug weld the bottom. We'll put a bolt through the top and bolt it in. This will be bolted, the top weld, and it'll be tied in, and this will be permanent. And we're gonna start working on the other side. Have got the second side, driver's side, just about done. We've got it cleaned up, got the front cleaned up. Let me see if I can do this one-handed. We just notched that so it sits up in there nice, and the front goes in. There we go. So we got it all cleaned up because I'm going to weld also, tack these in. These are bolt in, like I said before, but nothing wrong with a couple beads. And we'll get that bolted in up there. That's up in there snug tight. We had to do the same with this bottom floor jack and put some pressure and slowly kind of bend it upwards, but I like it better than cutting and then setting this guy up into above the floor and then having to finish it with sheet metal. So I think you're looking good. All right, guys, here we go. We are pretty close. We are cleaned up. Got her set in. We're gonna, like I said, I'm gonna plug weld that. We are tied in here. So next step is to torque. All right, we're gonna make a temporary this guy is gonna get bolted through my frame connectors because I want to find a good way of grounding. They're too wide to really get my grounding clamp on there, and I tried welding a little bit. I plug weld that side over there and that was fine, but kind of had to hold it. I didn't have a real good way to ground, and every time I used the magnet brass ground or anything, it just wasn't working good. And if I got a good ground, it was welding well. So I'm gonna okay, we're tacked in. I think we're looking pretty good. I got a good buddy who's a really good welder, and I'm going to have him do some final TIG work on that, and should be looking good.